This episode is brought to you by Whitaker Garage Doors, your one-stop shop for all things garage doors, proudly based in Peekskill, New York. Your home is a direct reflection of your personal style, and let's face it, your garage doors are the first thing people see when they pull up your driveway. Whether you're looking for the timeless charm of a classic carriage house door or the clean, sleek look of a basic wood finish, Whitaker Garage Doors offers traditional options for every taste and budget. I can personally vouch for their incredible service. When I had my own garage doors done, I was blown away by their timeliness, professionalism, and overall respect for their clients. Jonathan, Cassara, and their entire team are top-notch, and they really go the extra mile to ensure you're happy with the final result. So if you're in the market for a new garage door or need some repairs, give them a call or find them on Instagram at Whitaker_doors. Don't forget to tell them you're a friend of Dave's over at the No Snooze podcast. Whitaker Doors. You won't regret it. Now, back to the Epi. Adversity? Bring it. The struggle? I welcome it. Snooze on life? Never that. I am Dave Regina, and this is the No Snooze podcast. Come on. Welcome back, No Snooze Podcast, episode 269. As always, I'm in the booth. This may be my favorite three. I got Claudio the Voice, Valenzuela, and we got Sean. History has been made, Degnan. And I am Dave the Body, Regina. We did it, baby. Listen, health is wealth is in the books. History has been made in Westchester County, and I, first and foremost, want to welcome you back to the podcast, my brother.
Damn, back again.
Woohoo!
5, 6 times? I don't know, bro.
You're racking
I'm
them
the
up.
king of this damn booth.
You're racking them up now.
Let's go.
Before we get into anything health is wealth, I just want to say congratulations, man. Dad to be.
Hey.
CV and I had shouted you out a couple different times here, but I'm so excited for you, man. I love you. I love Jackie. And you guys are going to be incredible parents, regardless of what anyone tells you, because nobody knows anything about parenting. I swear. I always tell you this. I'm like, if anybody gives you advice on parenting, don't listen to them, man. But how is all that going before we get into the other stuff?
It's great, bro. Jackie's a beast. She's every day working out. She's dialed. Like she doesn't even really feel pregnant. She's like, oh, I just feel like I'm like chubby now. But she doesn't like feel pregnant. Like nothing sickness-wise. Physically, she's doing great, man. Her face is like glowing. She's dope, dude. Best partner in the game. Like just incredible watching her go through this.
And when is the
September 20th? Ooh. Yeah, it's coming, baby. It's coming. We wasted no time, man.
And you guys are doing a surprise.
Surprise, yeah, man.
How are you doing that?
So
that don't work for my personality. I'll tell you that.
It would though. This is my moment, bro. When I come out of the hospital room, I'm like, it's a. Have the whole family waiting on the edge of the seat.
Yeah.
And I get that moment while she's getting sewn up or whatever the hell's going on in there.
CV, what's your guess, man? What are you going with? Let's put it in the air here.
My guess?
Yep.
I know what he's guessing.
I know. I already told you guys.
I
think it's going to be a girl.
Yeah, 100%.
Girl?
Yeah.
I think girl as well.
Me too.
I do.
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Now-
Fully in my gut.
Really? You feel it?
It's funny, like everybody that we talk to and meet, they're like, oh, if you're having what is it? If you're having a girl, you're sick? Is that what it is?
Or they steal the beauty?
Yeah, whatever that is.
Yeah.
And then everyone we know that actually gets sick had a boy.
Huh.
So it's like, I don't know.
Well, they have that, I don't know if it's a tale or whatever it is, but also with the heartbeat. Right? And if the heartbeat is over like 150 at the time that you do testing, they say there's a good chance that it's a girl, but I don't know. I don't know who made those rules. Yeah, I remember you saying it was over 150.
Yeah.
Do you care what it is?
Do I care? I kind of want a girl, to be honest.
You do?
Yeah.
Girl.
But
Wait, the answer's supposed to be no.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm being real. I don't care. If it comes out a boy, I'm gonna be hyped. Like either way, because then it's like I got the name continues, and I get to train a little Ace Juniors up in this place. But no, I don't know. I just feel like I'm a girl dad for whatever reason. Like people are probably like, what? But I always had like a ton of girl friends, like literally like friends.
Hey, sorry.
Growing up,
We're going
and
off the
stuff.
rails here.
No. We're bringing this shit back. I don't know. I just always felt like I was gonna be a girl dad first.
Okay.
For whatever reason.
Yep. There was no doubt in my mind when Callie was born, even before finding out
That it was a girl.
That I was a girl.
Wow.
100%.
Yeah.
And I wanted a girl. Even as I want more children.
Would
Katie,
you want a girl or
I
a
only
boy?
want girls.
Really?
Yeah, I don't care about the namesake, the this, the that. I'm
Really?
trying to be so big that the last name just
Yeah,
remains.
yeah.
And hopefully my brother will hold it down and maybe have a boy or something so it can actually live
Matt.
on. Come on, Matty Reg.
Let's go, Matt.
But no, man, I love being a girl dad. I mean, there's something to a really strong man that everybody like judges and thinks, oh, well, this guy's so masculine and this and that.
Yeah.
And then when you hold in that little baby girl, bro,
Just melts you.
Yeah, just the innocence that's there. It's just a beautiful thing, man.
Callie's like a mini you too, dude. She's just like the personality,
She's
like
too much.
crazy.
She's living her best life.
She's
in
unbelievable,
Disney
man.
right now.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's dope.
But no, man, congratulations.
Thank you, man.
And really so excited.
Appreciate you, bro. And yeah, man, bringing this thing back to health is wealth, bro. What a freaking day. What a journey. I appreciate you, bro. I love you, man. I told everybody just the event itself was incredible, but the journey, the ride, the partnership, I mean, it's like a marriage. What we have, it is, it's a business marriage, and it's just keeps getting stronger and stronger. And I think a lot of times when people start to see success in their business, they start to see, one person veer off. They start to see resentment build and things like that. And we've only gotten stronger. And I think it's just it's a testament and a tribute to who you are as a person, what you've taught me in this business relationship, and I love and appreciate you, bro.
No, bro, and it boomerang right back to you, man. I there's no words, honestly. There's no words when it comes to not only the friendship, but the relationship as a whole, man. I've learned so much from you. I continue to learn from you. I continue to pull things and utilize them in my daily life. I find myself, and I think the best compliment I can ever give you is, you remember those "what would Jesus do" things, right? I always say, in my mind, like, what would Sean do on behalf of Ace, on behalf of this moment? Because I love the way you move, just as a man in your everyday life, man, and that's who I want to surround myself with. But this partnership is deadly. I'll tell you that. I mean, I was going to save that, for a little bit later, but we might as well go right there, because history, you never think that it's possible. Maybe you do, but it's not a typical thought to truly sit there and believe, like, wow, we can make history.
Yeah.
And people listening to this, they might be like, what are you talking about? Like, there's been plenty of health and wellness expos. That's cool. But in Westchester County, New York, where Sean and I are both from, there has never been a health and wellness expo in the Westchester County Center or in the county to the magnitude of what we were able to pull off.
No, and it was a blend of a lot of different things. I mean, we had fitness activations, we had local business spotlight vendors, keynote speakers, breathwork sessions, just like an engaging day, all under one roof for such an affordable price. You know,
it was crazy. And we never did it for the money by any means. It was more so us living in alignment with the things that we do in our everyday life, right?
Yeah.
And I think that is also a big sell to people. They want to be a part of something, even in your own business, right? You have to have a business that you actually live by. So we did the Health is Wealth Expo, and that's what we embody on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
Physically, mentally, financially, and spiritually, right? And we practice what we preach, and I think people feel that. But it was a little scary, man. Like, leading up to this thing, we'll be fully transparent. It was not easy by any means. 56 days out from the event, on February 13th, I got a text message from Sean, and it literally said, we got a lot of work to do. 13 tickets have been sold to Health is Wealth. And that is wild. And that is a common theme, though, that we find ourselves in. We constantly, and I don't know if it's strategic or not, but we place ourselves with our back against the wall. And then when that pressure is there, we both we lean into it.
Yeah.
What do you think is the gold there? And is it, because I have a hard time explaining it. I really do.
I don't know, man. It's you know what I really love looking at is the graph on our event platform, the dashboard of the ticket sales, and it's like this. Where's my camera? Right here. It's like this, and then it's like April's right here, and it's like, and it's just like literally a roller coaster shoot up of the ticket sales. Number one, I think it's people are slow to buy, which we already know, because all of our men's dinners on a monthly basis. 2 days out, we're like, bro, we got 3 tickets sold every month, and then we sell it out every month. So we know that already. I think like the behavior that humans, are engaging with events, buying and whatever, it's late for whatever reason. So that's stressful. Thanks, guys. But I don't know, man. I think we do kind of ramp it into like the next gear as we get closer. We feel the pressure. We work well under pressure. I don't think the pressure is fun. It's stressful. We had sleepless nights for weeks. We were just spiraling a little bit internally. But with that being said, we got so much accomplished during that time period as well. I don't know, man. It's I do love it. It's kind of a rush.
You love it, I think, a little too much. I swear. It doesn't sit well with my Crohn's disease sometimes, man.
I'm sure.
But yeah, the pressure, and I don't know if this is a bad thing, but pressure at times can turn into a panic, right? And now, depending on how you respond to the panic is either going to make you or break you, right? Because a lot of people will fold when they begin to panic. Or you can panic, have a real conversation like, yo, look, we have to do A, B, C, D, and E. And then one by one, we just start knocking things off the list. And then that's the other thing. We lean into our strengths a lot, right? Like, I know what you do really well. You know what I do really well. And we just let the other one go. And then we report back, yo, just FYI, this has been done.
Yeah.
And in past business relationships, that was the thing for me. That was not always the case. And I always held, I think, a level of resentment of like, oh, well, I'm doing more than you type of thing.
Yeah.
And I have never once, I've learned a lot since, you know what I mean? But I have never once ever felt that way, and I believe it's the same for you.
Never,
which is
man.
very unique because you just know that the other one is going to hold it down.
Well, I think that's the standard we keep, right? I think it's the level of like expectation we have for each other is very high. It's the standard. It's just kind of like what we live by because it's like if I start slipping, which happens, there's days where I'm down and I'm stressed. I'm busy with Sale House or whatever's going on. And I'm like, damn, I got to catch up because I know Dave is crushing it right now. He's cranking on his end. And I talk about this all the time, like where pressure is actually a good thing sometimes if you put it on yourself. Like I feel that pressure that I put on myself to be like, yo, you gotta perform, you gotta work. And for me, it motivates me. It gets me going. I know for the same thing for you.
All right, let's try to take it back to 2024.
Yeah.
I think is the first time we actually spoke about wanting to sell out the county center for an event, right? So why don't you lay the foundation? I asked you the other day, I tried to type it in my phone. We pitched Health is Wealth to Westchester County. I think it was more of a verbal conversation of when it first happened. But we have record of 2024 of us saying like, yo, we're going to do the biggest expo that the county's ever seen.
Yeah. It's funny because like, our brains are just fried, number one, because we can't remember this stuff. It's like, oh, who came up with the name? Who came up with the idea of Westchester County? We have no idea. But I don't know, man. We put these big ideas out. Same thing with the first summit where it's like, we're going to do the biggest, the largest, the most historic thing. And we did it the same thing with Health is Wealth. But we've kind of filled the shoes. Like it's like, all right, you got big shoes out there that we're setting the expectation for ourselves. And the pressure we have, it just forces us to work and grow. I don't know who came up with the idea, the name, anything, to be honest. But what I do know is that once one of us says something, we're like, yep.
That's
on
it.
board, and we just start moving, man. It's I don't know, dude. How do you think we piece this whole thing together? Like from the jump, we have an idea always. We put it out. One of us says something, we both agree, and then from there, it's like, all right, let's just go.
Well, how do we how do we now get to the thing, right? And I think that's an important piece because we put things out that are big, but also it's pretty attainable, right?
Yeah.
We live in Westchester County.
Yeah.
We have relationships with Westchester County. We have a big following in Westchester. We've done 50 plus events in Westchester County. I work for the town of Greenburgh. You own the sale house in Tarrytown. We're hometown guys. So I think having that access point and that first realization of like, all right, look, we're not trying to sell out California right now, right? We're trying to take over hometown,
True.
which I think a lot of people miss because you want to do these big astronomical things, but it's almost unattainable, right? So I think having I guess a real thought and a real feeling of like, yo, we've been in the Westchester County Center tons of times. And then I also think it's like, okay, let's dial down the relationship, right? And now just because we want something, I think what we're really good at too is providing value back to people. So when we first had that conversation with Westchester County, it was like, hey, look, yes, we've done, because you have to show some proof of concept. We've done over 50 events. We've impacted the lives of 2,000 people, right here in the county. We believe we can do this. But having the knowledge that I have of local government and the needs and the desires of them, we said, you guys, as Westchester County, you don't have anything like this that you actually put your name on. As Westchester County Parks, you don't have an initiative that's solely focused on health and wellness. Now, what is that going to do for your national accreditation process?
See, that's something that homeboy don't know nothing about. I don't know nothing about all that stuff. But for you, like you have the background knowledge on a lot of this stuff where it's like they actually need to fill that stuff. They need to make sure they're meeting the credentials and all that stuff on a yearly basis. And what better man to do it than a former employee that they love, someone that's creating real positive change in Westchester and the local community. You know, it just made sense.
So I think when you pair that with our goals and then the relationships and also what we said we live this life, right? Like very early on, you were having conversations of like, the Grant Cardone 10X conference, what we've shared and know about InvestFest down in Atlanta, Georgia. Kenny Santucci runs Strong New York, which is more on a physical front. But like we've seen these things and we've done the summit for 3 days of a period. So like then you begin to like map it out and you're like, okay, like this really can come to fruition, right? So I think it's a lot of things. But I do believe that a lot of people make mistakes because everyone loves these big goals, but almost too big to where it's unattainable. Like even us going to MSG right away, I don't know if that would have been the move because you don't necessarily have the in to the door, and I think we always do lead with value when it comes to like partnerships and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think we have the brand of ACE, we have Health is Wealth, and those things, when we explain them, they kind of speak for themselves. But you have to your point, have proof of concept. So like my huge goal I keep talking about is getting MSG. Like I want Madison Square Garden within 3 to 6, maybe 8 years is, like the max in my mind. But I want MSG. And I don't know. I think we start local. We make sure that we're doing this stuff on the right level and we're proving the concept, and then we start expanding. We know a lot of people that start businesses or they start ideas and they're like, oh, I'm going to do this and, come to my event and this or invest in my business for this. But it's like, yo, do you guys have any like proven concept? Do you have any local following? Are you doing things the right way to where it's like your demand is forcing you to increase? Because I think that's kind of where we started to land at the end of last year. We were doing these monthly events and we're selling out month in, month out, every single month, which is only 40 people, not a huge feat. But then we went to Leadership in Action and we had a 100-person event. Crushed it, sold that out. 1-day event, we're like, all right, I think there's more interest in what we're doing here. Now we go to a 600-person event. What's to say we can't do 3,500 and sell out County Center and then eventually sell out Madison Square Garden? Nothing.
And you see how his brain thinks, right? Like when he's talking about it, he's so clear about it, which is very different. Because I know there's got to be a level of like, oh, can we do it? But it's not like, can we actually pull it off? It's just about like, how are we going to pull it off?
How are we going to pull it off?
Right?
Totally.
And when you think about that, although it was the county's first and largest wellness expo, there was still a lot of time that we put into this to have 50 plus events.
60 now, I think.
Probably 60.
Yeah.
To get our feet wet and see, okay, like you did the 40 person, you can do that consistently. You did the 100 person. Now making the leap from 100 to 600, that's a big leap for sure. But we had so much confidence in what we've been able to do. I think the next thing that was important for us to identify was the team that was kind of in place. This is where we both kind of suck.
Yeah, bro.
Just in terms of we definitely have an issue just in our own leadership journeys with giving things away prior to us having knowledge. And I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing, but we are very much of the thought process like we have to know everything before we can give it away.
Yeah.
And that, I think, it's a gift and a curse, right? But we were able to successfully find two individuals specifically, with Mike Press as the creative director and Melissa Tomlin on the vendor partnership, right? And that was critical, obviously, to the success. So I do think, you need to be able to pull in a team that's going to at least be the core of kind of what everybody's going to see, right?
Yeah, so when we were first planning this event, we started talking about like a board of advisors or something like that. That was like the committee of health is wealth, which I do think we grow into. Mm-hmm. But we kept talking about it. We never really executed on it. To your point, like I think we both have this doer, go-getter mindset of like, no, like we need to do it and whatever. Is there a little bit of ego in there? Probably. We probably have a little bit of ego in owning some of these things, which in my mind is okay for a period of time. Mm-hmm. But if you really want to scale something and expand, you cannot do everything yourself. Gerard talked about like, are you the bottleneck or the multiplier? And that like cut me, bro, right in my chest. And I was like, ooh, because I feel as though at times I'm the bottleneck and I need to be the multiplier. But for this event specifically, I think it was important that we did a lot of this stuff on our own and with our small team of Mike and Melissa. Mm-hmm. We're not doing that next year. No. We need a bigger team.
No, absolutely. But I also think, you said something important because we kept talking about this board of directors, but also when you bring in too many opinions too early on, before you even see something, how can you ever get a finalized product? It has to come from two minds, which we also got to give a lot of credit to Melissa and Mike for kind of just going with the flow on this one and then making decisions in their respective departments. But pretty much all decisions came from you and I because you have to start there. Yeah. You have to be able to make a decision and then you can evaluate the decision after. That's real leadership, right? Like standing on what you believe in, you try something, and then when it's said and done, now you evaluate. And now that we have all this feedback, which we'll definitely get into, now you can begin to bring more people on and say, hey, what's your opinion on this? But think about what we would do. Even if you're a high-level business person, right? Just because you're a high-level CEO or something like that and we wanted you on our board of directors, have you ever run events?
Yeah.
And that's a serious thing. Or somebody that's really close to us. Like, have you ever done something to this magnitude? Because a lot of them, although great individuals, never even done anything like this.
Yeah, and I think there's a big part of that that's really important because for us specifically, we like to own the creative process. I know for me, like I love creating things. It's like so fulfilling for me to see a brand grow and evolve. Specifically in business at this point in my life, I have that tweak in my head where it's like you see something in its natural form and you start to add on and you start to, make tweaks and adjustments and then it starts to form and it builds and it grows and then it's this final product where it's like, damn, I feel so proud of that. But there's a lot of people in this world, in even our immediate circle and whatever, that are great team members. Mm-hmm. And this is not a knock on anyone, but this is just who we are as people. We are the visionaries. And I think that's an important thing to identify because not everyone is the visionary. Not everyone is the one that comes up with the concept. Mm-hmm. We're awful in so many other areas that we're going to get into a little bit, that we need people that are experts in those specific fields so that the visionaries can come together with the operations people, that come together with the logistics and, the AV and whatever, all these different areas of marketing and all that stuff. So we have this final product that is a polished thing that we put out, and as a collective whole, we're proud of.
Yeah. For the past 5 years, I've trusted Kai Vision Studio with my podcast. And every time, Claudio delivers an exceptional experience. The setup here is flawless. Professional lighting, crystal clear audio, and a custom set that makes every episode look elite. As someone who speaks on leadership, I know how important it is to show up with clarity and confidence. This studio allows me to do just that. The quality here isn't just about the equipment, it's about the environment. Claudio has created a space where I can focus on my message, knowing the production will be sharp, engaging, and professional. In a world flooded with content, standing out matters. And having a studio like this gives me the edge to produce videos and podcasts that truly connect with my audience. If you're serious about creating high-quality content, I can't recommend Kai Visions enough. Claudio makes you feel at home, yet delivers at the highest level. 5 years in, I'm not going anywhere else. So beyond Mike and Melissa, we have to shout out Kevin Cook from Westchester County, Lori Sage, Commissioner O'Connor.
Yep.
Those three were pivotal in the success of this event, right? Like Lori helped so much with marketing. Kev was a real decision maker when it came to moving things along for Westchester County, because as we know, sometimes local government could be a little archaic to say the least.
Yep.
And shout out to Westchester County Center staff for
Joe, my guy Joe, bro.
Joe Greco.
What a beast.
Joe Greco. This guy, he slaved with us behind the scenes, bro. With the audio visual. I mean, we couldn't do it without these people.
No.
And it's really important, I think, to highlight them and give the honor to them. But I would say the person that we gave the most pressure to, or I guess gave the most responsibility to, was Mike Press.
Oh my God. Poor Mike, bro.
Just in terms of the amount of content that he had to push out for us.
And it was immediate too.
Yeah,
it's bro, we need this right now.
He would always ask, timeline question mark? You say, yesterday. CV knows that. CV knows that very well.
Yep. Yeah, man. This guy just, I think we tried as best as we could, when we weren't as hectic and just crazy, to be like, dude, just side note, when things weren't as wild, thank you, appreciate you, but let's keep moving, And it was we'll talk and we'll debrief after this whole thing.
Right.
But, man, he pumped out a lot of work for us.
I mean, a lot. And then also, there's times where Sean and I, we're going back and forth. Once I get into that mode, that go mode, especially when it comes to the vision, and I see something and, you kind of want it. There was times I had to, take my foot off the gas, and I'm like, yo, Sean, you got to deliver this one. He's like, yeah, I think that'd be best. Because, Mike was taking a lot of heat. But that's the kind of people I want on my team, man.
Totally. He didn't crack.
No, he didn't crack at all. I know he was definitely, stressed. He always sends that emoji with throwing the chair, right? Because he'll send something and then we'll edit it a couple times. But you need people like that, man, in your corner. Totally. That's like Joe K and Nick Menente when we're building Ace. That's like CV when we're building No Snooze. Yep. You need people like that who really are ride or die.
Totally.
And not having, any bad feelings about it.
No, and he pushed us too. He pushed back a lot on certain things that he truly believed in that helped us put out a better product.
Right.
Because I think that's important too. You have these trusted minds surrounding the brand, and you say, all right, this is a valid opinion that I need to look at from a different perspective here. So that was super important, man. But poor Mike, man. Mike, can you breathe yet?
And how about Melissa Tomlin, man? Shout out to 914 Pop-Ups, the best in the game when it comes to running your events and collaborating in terms of partnerships for vendors.
Yeah.
Wow. 80 vendors.
So we got connected with Melissa a couple of years ago. I think she was trying to get us to do some cold plunge stuff when we first started Ace, and we ended up connecting her to Joe K, and they did a few events together. But we didn't really know what to expect with her. And once we decided to do this thing, she was like, all right, I'm going to start getting vendors, whatever. Bam. There was 50 vendors right off the rip. Then it turns into 100. The list was 150 or something of on the wait list to try to get in. Melissa, you stress me out a little bit with the way you connect us on emails. Hey, connecting you too, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, for what? But she's literally like the best that I know at just connecting people, bringing people together, highlighting local small business. Like that's a gift of hers, and she did a great job, man.
Yeah. Shout out to those guys for sure. So just to give you guys a full recap of the event, we ended up with 39 speakers on the day. That was main stage speakers. That was breakout sessions, which we had about 12 breakout sessions. Over 600 people attended the event. 80 local businesses, and just a day of vibes. We had James McLeod on the ones and twos, just bringing energy. Vendor Village was popping. It was just an uplifting experience on the day. Before we get into, I guess, the some things that we can probably improve on, what did you enjoy most about the event?
So, from a personal and selfish standpoint, the thing I enjoyed most was praying in the back right before we went out, and the buildup of like just going to battle again, going to war to put out this final product of like just so many months of work and hours, just really grinding, man. Like we put a lot of work, energy, and time, and I mean, we didn't sleep. Like
It was all I could think about.
it was all we
last
could
month.
do. I mean, it was nonstop. Like, and I think that's really what it takes to put something great out. Is like you have to truly care so much about what you're doing, and I know you did. I know I did, and we got to that moment where we were backstage, and Mike captured it when we were praying, man. And I felt like I was back in college again, getting ready to go out for my pregame on the football field, and it's like you have this grit dog mentality in you where it's like, let's go. Like I'm ready. It's game time. And then bam, the music cuts, the lights go, and you're out there and we're performing because that's what we were born to do, bro. Like we got a lot of feedback from even the keynotes and stuff. Like they're like, dude, the connection you guys have and the energy you vibe off each other, like the level of just like appreciation, but the showmanship too that we have together it's different. It's really different. And I felt it. It was so empowering, man. And I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it, man. And even recapping the event, like as we were about to go out to close out the event, I had the exact same feeling when I was back there sitting on that chair next to you right behind the curtain. And Gerard was speaking, and then my phone lit up. It was my dad.
It was your dad,
I started crying, man. I'm just like, whoa. And that was the first time I really like felt the emotions, I think, at that point, where I was like, damn, we did it. You know?
You know what was crazy about that prayer in the beginning? I wanted to acknowledge your father, and I chose to hold it back because I didn't want to get you too emotional prior to stepping on the stage.
Totally.
And there was a moment where I was asking for protection on all sides, and I remember thinking to myself, and protection from, our angel that's been guiding us in Jack Degnan, but I didn't want to say it because I was like, we're already nervous.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing. There was a couple of people that were like, oh, I can't believe you guys are nervous. Nervous doesn't correlate to something bad, right? It's how you perform when those nerves are there. And I think you made a good point. You were talking to somebody backstage talking about like, because we're athletes our whole life, you're used to being on the football field or being in layup lines, while the game is about to start. You feel nervous, but it still doesn't mean you can't dribble the ball or can't run straight.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? You still do what you do. But then watching the video of us coming out was really, really fire, bro. That was a moment.
Insane.
That was a moment.
What about you? What was your favorite?
I think what I really struggle, and we both suck sitting back and slowing down after the event, i.e. us both working on Monday and like getting right back to it, not even taking any time off. So I wish I could have, really enjoyed it in that regard. But I think there was a couple really cool moments, man. There was this one vendor there that was selling jewelry, and she was 7 years old.
I just heard about her yesterday.
Yeah, she was 7 years old, man. And like her and her mom were there, and, the mom had me come up to the 7-year-old and, kind of just chop it up with her. And she was like, oh my God, can I take a picture with you? Like, this is so cool. And I was just really encouraging her to like chase her dreams. To see a 7-year-old at an event like that, selling, vending, like that's amazing.
Crazy.
Right? That in itself is wild. And then I think we got to shout out this guy, Max, from one of the local high schools in Westchester. This guy is 18 years old. He bought himself a VIP ticket to Health is Wealth, which also granted him access to come after dinner. So we get to the dinner at Sail House, Sean's restaurant, and I see this guy sitting by himself. So I literally go up to him. I say, yo, man, are you sitting by yourself or are you waiting for somebody? He's like, no, I'm sitting, by myself. And you could tell he's reserved, quiet guy. I said, nah, man, we don't do that. Like, you got to come on over here. And it happened to be the table with the two founders, Sean Degnan, myself, and then a bunch of the main stage speakers. You had Sabby there. You had Gerard there. You had PD there. Our ladies were there.
Kelly,
really high level. Who else was there? Oh, yeah. Really high level people. And we sit this 18-year-old kid down, and he starts chopping it up with us and asking questions. And I think it was a beautiful thing to see that we were able to put on an event that made somebody like a Max get comfortable in a room like that. And think about how amazing that experience was for him and how now he's going to step into rooms feeling so much more confident because he got pulled aside by the founders of the event that he wanted to attend to have dinner with us. Did I tell you that Mark Carter pulled him aside, gave him cash back for the ticket that he paid, and then told him to pay it forward, and he doubled it in his pocket and said, bring a friend next year to Health as Well.
Damn, shouts to Mark. That's a beautiful thing.
It was fire. That moment was very, very dope.
So we talk about this all the time, and it's like the relationships that you build, and you never know when something's going to spark the next thing in your life. Mm-hmm. That's the work in real time right there. That guy put himself in the right place at the right time, and he ends up at a table with people that are worth $50 million. Like some legit heavy hitters at that table. You never know what happens now. I mean, that opens the floodgates for this guy to say, yep, I've got a relationship to Gerard Adams now. I've got a relationship to the Ace guys and whatever it is. But his trajectory of life, if he stays the path, could be completely different than if he didn't attend that event.
And he followed up. And this is the other thing I loved about him. He followed up via email. Yep. He's just doing things the right way. So shout out to you, Max. Keep going, man.
What about the event itself? So that was both personal things, I think, there. What about the event itself? What was your favorite part of the show or the
personal, like personal favorite part?
Just like the actual event, whether it be speakers, activations, or whatever.
So I actually loved witnessing Pat's class going on in the middle. I think that was like the best thing that we called an audible on quick. Seeing everybody, like he only had like 10, 15 people in the class, but watching everybody watch that little activation that was going on, I think it was just a dope space. I love the speakers. Mm-hmm. I think the speakers did a tremendous job coming out and the different style of speaking that we were able to see, right? Mm-hmm. Some people liked others more than, other people, and that's fine and that's okay. But I think we did the job. No. Okay, this is what I love the most because I actually said this to somebody. The diversity of the whole event. I think male, female, black, white, Hispanic representation, and then looking at the crowd itself and seeing all colors, brown, and you know what I mean, like
ages,
all spans. I think because we're like that, right? We're seasoned white boys. Who blend?
We step in any room.
Who step in a room? But I think seeing that in Westchester, because Westchester's diverse, man. A lot of people will say it's very uppity if you're not from Westchester, and it's rich this, rich that. But nah, it's not that way, man. And we had people who have a lot of money in the building, and we had people who had no money in the building. We had people who actually emailed us saying, hey, I can't afford it due to a financial hardship, and we had the opportunity to provide service and just say, hey, here's 2 tickets on us.
Yep.
That shit was dope. That was my favorite part, the diversity of the event.
Dope. I love it. Yeah, it's a great point. And you said something there like throughout where like you always do such a great job at this, even with the Ace Summit and dinners and like all of our other events. You're able to see something where you're like, all right, I see a better opportunity here, and you make the call to make an audible. Or you at least bring it to light to me, and then we make the decision together, say, yep, let's do it. You do such a good job at that, dude. It's like a gift of yours because you're able to just see where like a better opportunity lies. Pat's class, i.e., like at the summit, you do this stuff all the time too. It's a beautiful thing that you do. I just want to highlight that.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
So for me, I would say the The breathwork session was probably my favorite part of the day, outside of the ending where Gerard did his breathwork. Actually, so I guess it was both breathwork. When I saw Francesca go to the crowd and she interacted with your mother, with Katie, with Sean O'Connor, with Luisa Greco's husband Tommy, my uncle Tommy. For me, that was the most fulfilling part, because you saw people that were locked in for like 20, 30 minutes of going through mastery, which is Francesca's breathwork experience. You saw the actual results. And I talked to Kylie from Sale House yesterday, and she went through the whole thing with her mother too in the back row. And she was like, yeah, like I was in tears. My brother told me, he's like, dude, I'm full tears. Like, it was legit, like, life-changing, that experience. And then to hear from the crowd and her interaction with them, what they actually experienced, that was the beautiful piece for me to witness. I think we need more of that, more crowd engagement for next year, because people love getting involved, man, and people want to be heard. And I think those moments where people are able to express themselves, that's where people, their eyes light up a little bit. That's where people are feeling seen.
Yeah, that was dope to witness in real time. You know, real tears and real journeys and people talking through the journeys. It even made us like walk through it with them when they were recapping what they were able to see. And it's mind blowing, because you have people in that room who have never done breath work before, even a novice. That's a beginner, right? Novice.
Yeah, I think so.
Sometimes, I'm a big beginner when it comes to.
Maybe we have CV. I don't know.
Expert, novice. No, novice means beginner, right? I am a novice when it comes to breath work. Is that accurate? I don't know. Mike Pirelli used to roast me because he's like, bro, you say things so confidently, and it actually means the opposite. But I'm pretty sure novice is beginner. But yeah, people who just have never been involved in breath work, and then people who are, masters in it, and seeing that emotion just throughout. You said something that's important too for next time, more crowd engagement. I had a lot of people that were like, I was dying to ask a question to earn your leisure.
Q&A,
Yeah, so we gotta, these are all really good things. So what would we highlight just in terms of where we can improve? I don't wanna, we have to be strategic with this, because we can bash ourselves. We know there's 100 different improvements. Yeah. But what would you say are the top few things that we need to look at to improve this event based on our own experience of living year one, and then also some of the feedback that we've gotten?
So I think number one is the event length. One thing that we talked about on our call yesterday with Alan is, like, for guys like us, we could go to a 3-4, I could go to a week personal development conference, and it's still not enough for me. But as you highlighted before, there was such a diverse crowd at this event, and you have to realize that the audience is different. Not everyone is obsessed with personal development like us. They're there to learn, but how long can you hold people's attention for? We saw a lot of vendors packing up and, leaving. They had long days. They got there at 6 a.m. and it's almost 6 p.m. by the time the event ends. So I think the length of the event needs to get cut down. How do we do that? I don't know exactly. We'll talk through that. That's number one, is the length. I think the second is it's more crowd work for sure, like a lot more crowd work. When I was out there, me, you, and Francesca walking through and we're giving the microphone out, I had this moment where I felt like we were at like a Tony Robbins event. And I felt like, you know how he works the crowd and stuff, and he's actually in there, and it's like this really like just transformational experience. I literally felt like we were doing that at that time. And there was a level of like, it was like a euphoric feeling of stepping off the stage, getting into the crowd, and kind of doing the work with them. That's, I don't know, I kind of felt that. That's another one, some more crowd work for sure. And, the breakouts, they need work. I think we might have had too many. I mean, the offerings were wild. Like,
we stacked it.
We stacked it. Like, bro, you want anything in health and wellness.
The agenda was fire.
It was crazy. It was loaded.
That was
with
a lot
value.
of work, though, bro. That was a lot of work for us to create that level of an agenda.
Yeah. No, it was insane, man. I think that was like a great offering. Was like we were able to provide so much, but maybe it was almost too much. So maybe it changes on a year-to-year basis of like, all right, we're going to highlight these 5 or 6 things for the breakouts, not, what do we have, 12? Yeah. So it was a lot. So I think maybe we shrink that down a little bit. What about you?
Okay. Yeah, I agree with all those. I think having less main stage speakers is something that we spoke about.
Yep.
I think from the preparation stage, we need more delegation.
Yeah.
In terms of roles and responsibilities now that we've seen it. That's for sure. I agree with the event being a little bit too dense almost. Like there was just so much available. And sometimes when you provide that many, I spoke to a couple people. I was like, why aren't you in breakouts? They're like, I can't make a decision. And they ended up not going to any.
Jackie actually said that too.
Yeah, they said it was too much, So again, I think that's something that the crowd does have to, like the attendee has to make a decision, and maybe we can even speak to that. Like, look, this is a challenging decision, but also encouraging people prior to, we put that agenda out and we basically say, hey, look, choose, think about this now. Don't come the day of the event trying to figure out where you want to go. I think you kind of have to, do your research prior and then make a conscious decision. I think too many offerings, when it came to breakout sessions, I think they're all phenomenal, though. That's where I think it's going to be really challenging to highlight 6 throughout the day versus 12, but I think it might be necessary because I guess you almost want people leaving wanting more versus people leaving and being like, oh my God, this was too much.
Yeah.
So I think those are certainly some things that we can improve on.
So 2 things there. So for the breakouts, we had a lot, and we told the breakout session leaders and the panelists and everybody that was in those rooms that like, hey, you guys got to do the work. And you had your own experience with InvestFest of like, I got a million other things going on while I'm on, one of the main stages, and you had to do the work of like literally going around in Atlanta, like, yo,
you like leadership?
I'm at 10 a.m. Come check me out. You know who I am? I'm Dave Regina. Who the hell is Dave Regina?
Like, I don't know that
and you're
guy.
like, yeah, come check me out. But you were doing that word of mouth stuff, and we tried our best, I think, to tell the breakout session leaders and the speakers for those rooms that they had to do that. I think some did a great job, and others did a poor job. I mean, there was people that had like 3 to 10 people in their breakout room, which was unfortunate to see. But then there was other people that had like 60, 80 people in their breakout rooms because they put the work in. So, I mean, that was one thing. Another thing with that, would you have people register for breakouts prior?
That's an option. I love that. Now, do we think we can do that like on the back end of the ticket platform? Like, cause that
Not on that ticket platform.
I know we struggle with that.
That was a tough
I think
one.
that would be a great thing to do prior. I just don't know the logistics behind it. But if we can figure that out, that would be beautiful because it gives people a head count. That's the other thing, man. You made a great point, and I want to be clear to everybody because I'm already getting some people that are like, yo, I want to speak next year. I'm happy you want to speak next year, right? I really am. But for you to come to an event like this, you need to listen to what Sean just said. You need to have, 1, a clear, simple message, but 2, be able to draw people to a room. Like a lot of people can have big followings online, and it doesn't necessarily correlate to the impact of you filling a room, right? So I look at somebody like Eddie Wazo, the perfect breakout.
Doesn't have a huge following online.
Doesn't have a huge following online, but has a loyal following when it comes to being able to fill rooms. And they had like 50 people in their breakout.
Brandon
Gadoris, same thing. But these are people who are building communities behind the scenes. So I think if you want to speak at this event or an event like this, you have to have a community behind you, or at least a compelling message that's going to pull people in. Melissa did a great job too from Elevate.
Beast. Yeah.
I mean, that's a really hot topic in peptides, and she knew right away when she was asked to speak. She's like, "Oh, I'm speaking on peptides. It's hot right now."
Yep.
And people, I think they see these opportunities and they're like, "Oh, I want to speak." But there's a lot of work that goes in behind it.
Yeah, I mean, there was a couple people that like reached out to us even before the event and after the event about like, oh, I want to speak next year. And honestly, like, I'm gonna be fully transparent. Like, it was like almost a slap in the face because I'm like, you got Troy, you got Rashad, Earn Your Leisure, you got Gerard Adams, Sabby, like you got some dogs on that stage, like some beasts that I'm been putting work in for like decades, and some of the best in the world at what they do, like literally the best in the world. And we got them on that stage, which was another thing we should probably talk about, is the level of access we provided the attendees, not to us, to the offerings that we gave them and the speakers. But you got the balls to say you want to speak on the stage next year. What have you done, homeboy? What have you done?
Or homegirl.
Homegirl. You know, well, specifically, there's been a few guys that reached out to me and you, whatever. But I almost looked at that as like, you're living in a different reality, bro. You know, you're not here right now, and you're not respecting the level of output that we're doing here. And again, not even just me and you, just the people we're bringing to the stage. Like, respect what they've done, and realize that you are light years away from that. You know, and
when you said it, it sounds aggressive.
Yep.
But it's very true. And also, I think people don't realize how to package something like this. Because Sean and I will listen to anybody that wants to speak, but you saying, "Oh, I want to speak," versus you sending us a strategic email with a presentation and say, "Hey, man, I'd love to lead a breakout. Here's my, here's my presentation. This is what it is." I actually did that for InvestFest. That was the first time that I was able to get up there and speak, was because they brought me in year one to judge. But then year two, I presented to them. I said, "Hey, look, this is what I want to do. I would love to." I didn't even say nothing about a main stage, because at that level, you have 50 Cent, you got Steve Harvey, you got all these people. I almost feel, who's Dave Regina? And all I did was package them something just in regards to personal, professional development and becoming a better leader at home and at work and in the mirror. And they chose that they wanted to put me on main stage too, right? Not the big main stage, but main stage two.
Well, and that's a good point too. You weren't on the number one main stage; you were on main stage two.
Right.
But hopefully that continues to grow, and you get to main stage one. But you were able to say, "Hey guys, this is the value that I'm able to provide your community.
Yes.
Does this work for you guys?"
Right.
And they saw value in it.
Right.
Rather than someone just approaching me or you, and it's going to continue to happen, where they're like, "Yo, I should be on main stage," and blah blah. And it's like, says who? Like, number one, what have you done? What are your credentials? And this sounds aggressive, you're right, but I feel really strongly about it because of the level of speakers that we brought to the table, and I want to make sure that they are respected, you know, because it's just, like, look at the people we brought, look at what they've done, and look at the value they brought. You know, they're really like people that truly care about providing value, you know? Earn Your Leisure did not have to fly in. Gerard did not have to fly in.
Well, they were flying out. Earn Your Leisure. Oh, you're saying Mike?
No, to come into the event. Yeah. I guess,
Michael
yeah.
flew in.
Yeah.
But Earn Your Leisure flew out.
Yes.
We had to move them because they were originally slotted to speak late. And they said, "Hey, if you can you move us? If not, we'll move our flight that's going to Ghana." They literally left the event and flew to Ghana and landed Sunday morning.
Yep. And Francesca, same thing.
Francesca flew in.
Right out to Cali that night. Gerard,
Michael flew in.
Mike to Atlanta. Gerard back to North Carolina.
Yep.
Like, this is like, I mean, come on, man. Like, the level of, like, caliber person that we brought to the table there, like, if you're actually looking and interested to getting on the main stage and whatever, take a step back for a second and look at these people. Because I look at those people, and I know that I'm not on their level yet in their arena. Do I look at us and say we're the best in the world at what we do? Hell yeah. And I fully believe that. But I do also have a level of respect and appreciation for what these people do in their niche areas that I'm not going to, compare myself to them, because you gotta respect it.
Right. Shout out to Boundless Nutrition, because if you're serious about your health, your performance, and your lifestyle, this place is a game changer. Boundless Nutrition is a hub for people who refuse to live average. We're talking ready-to-go healthy meals for busy professionals, sports performance supplements, vitamins you can trust, training gear, and the best protein shake bar around. So whether you're chasing strength, fat loss, endurance, or just trying to feel better day to day, they've got you covered. And let me say this, Amanda and the entire Boundless team are incredible, knowledgeable, welcoming, and genuinely invested in helping you win. If you're in Westchester County, New York, stop by 54 Washington Avenue in Pleasantville and experience it for yourself. You can tell them you're a friend of Dave's, and find them on Instagram at Boundless Nutrition NY. Because at the end of the day, change your lifestyle, change your life. Now, back to the epic. We were talking to CV earlier, and he said that he was loving the breakouts. Like, he thinks it's a great opportunity for people to present, to speak, and it also gives somebody who may be almost like an introvert, right, as an attendee, gives them a little bit smaller of an opportunity to connect with people. And the feedback that we received from the breakouts was tremendous. Some better than others, but again, that you can't please everybody. But I specifically want to shout out like the Ace OGs, man. You know, Sean O'Connor for being involved, Nick Menente for being involved, Joe Kay for being involved, Alan Collins spoke, right? Anybody else in regards to Ace, the core people? We mentioned Brandon
and Eddie we talked about.
Eddie we spoke about. I'm sure there's some people we're going to miss, but we leaned heavily on our own community to really bring the heat and the value in regards to these breakouts. And every single one of these guys and girls stepped up, man.
Yep.
You know, and just put yourself out there. And we want to say thank you guys so much for your contribution to health.
For sure, man. Beautiful.
What was the your biggest takeaway from one of the speakers?
Biggest takeaway from one of the speakers, probably Gerard's the bottleneck versus multiplier thing. And I think for whatever reason, it just hit me so hard. And I've felt that at Sale House a lot, where I felt as though I'm the bottleneck. And there's kind of a running joke like with my team and the management team where they're like, everyone's always like, oh, well, let me go ask Sean. And well, where's Sean? Sean. And it's like, no, just like, number one, think for yourself, make a decision, or trust whatever manager's on or whatever it is. Like, you guys are competent enough. You guys could do it. So I've felt for a while that I was the bottleneck there. I feel like I'm getting out of that. I'm doing a better job at teaching and coaching my team that you don't need me. And that's my goal, is for the business to not need me at all, you know, which is a weird thing. Health is wealth. Like, we had to do it year one, but I want to make sure that you and I are both very strategic that, like, we can't be the bottleneck. We need people in marketing that we could fully trust. We need people in operations we could fully trust, you know, logistics and outreach and all that stuff. So I just want to be super conscious going forward in all my business endeavors that, like, I don't want to be the bottleneck.
Yeah, selfishly, mine is related to business as well. I mean, there were so many key moments throughout it, but I think what, you know, really like gut checked me was when Troy and Rashad were talking, and Troy specifically said something about, you know, all right, you guys, you know, you did this and we were able to do this with InvestFest, but now you got to take this moment and turn it into a movement. Because it's not a one-time thing, right? Anybody can do something. And then here's the other thing, and I think this is super important for you if you have a small business of any kind. They said, I think it was Shadi said it, but he was like, oh, maybe it was Troy, I don't know. 7 years in business. He said, we just started to walk a couple years ago. Because the 7-year-old version of you,
that was fire.
You're a baby still. So to you, that business owner, you're in your second, your third, your fourth, your fifth, your sixth year, 7th year of business. You're still a baby. And for those guys to say that they're still, they said, Dave, we just started walking 2 years ago, bro. Like
that was fire.
We just started. We didn't even get into team sports yet.
I forgot about that. That was fire.
I was like, whoa.
Yeah, that hit me too.
And anybody who owns any level of business, that should be your reminder that you have some of the best and the biggest in the world at what they do in terms of financial literacy. Saying that, like, yo, we're just starting to feel coordinated because we're only 7 years old. What's the next 7 years going to bring? I think something that Michael said was and it was more, I didn't even get to really see his presentation. It was more so when we were on the phone with him. I think it was the name of his presentation. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. And utilizing AI to actually visualize the thing that you want, right? Like, that's super applicable for me. I want to see the dream house that I want. I want to see the dream HQ by putting it through, an AI system. Gerard's Blessing, that's the song. It's called The Blessing. That's one of my favorite songs of all time.
Dave was backstage, man, when we were sitting there, and he was just ripping it. He was leaned over like this.
Yo.
And he was like this.
Yo.
And he's just...
Yes.
ripping that song. And
Fully surrendered,
we had
too.
we had a sick moment back there. That's another moment I think from the event that I'll probably never forget.
Yes.
Is sitting there towards the end of that session.
Yep.
And I think we we pounded and we put our hand on each other quick and just like felt it for a sec. That was so powerful.
Wayne Francis, man. Shout out to Pastor Wayne.
Beast.
Bro, he's one of the best speakers in the world.
Everybody loved him. I didn't hear one negative feedback about Wayne.
I heard one negative feedback from somebody who is an extreme Christian, and they said, he wasn't Christian enough for me. I said, that was strategic, man.
Yeah.
That was strategic.
Yeah.
But he pulls so many people. He did it. He's done it for me in my life.
To faith.
To faith, man.
Yeah.
And I specifically asked him, I said, all right, lay off of Jesus. Let's not make it about Jesus. And he has the ability to do that instantly.
Yep.
But the feedback was tremendous. And he's so animated when he speaks, and he's just a great speaker. Sabby did his thing. All of the main stage speakers, man, they really just came out, and so many different takeaways.
Yeah.
CV, what'd you think of the event, man? Putting you on the spot.
The
CV was a shout out to Kai Visions, both a community sponsor of Health is Wealth, was also an active vendor. So we thank you for your participation.
He was
bro.
engaging with the crowd. See if he's out there doing crowd work, man, getting testimonials.
He sent one of his employees over to have James quiet the music because he was doing interviews.
Come on, man.
Right?
Yeah, it was fun. It was a great event. I enjoyed it. I love the music, only because you brought that up. I love the music. It was tad loud at times, but it's really good. The event was great, man. I enjoyed it. I thought everything about it. The sessions, the breakout sessions. I happened to be in some pretty good ones, so I loved them. The only bad thing about that, and I guess that speaks to what you guys talked about, is being in stuck. I'm gonna say stuck.
Yeah.
For lack of better words. In one breakout room, I got to miss some of the other ones, which, fortunate for me, I got to see some footage from the other ones, and I was like, oh, I would have loved to step foot into that one or whatever. It was a good event, man. It was great. I loved the coloring. I loved the vibe. I loved the amount of vendors and people that were there. And it's that's not my type of thing. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed having the little booth and people coming over, and yes, I had a little bit of a setup, so I had a light, so I was obviously sticking out a little bit, and that makes people kind of just flutter to your area, which for me, for my type of networking type of personality, I think is perfect when they come to me versus me having to go to somebody.
Yeah. You definitely like
that. But no, it was fantastic.
Yeah, we tried to anticipate. We strategically placed you there too because I was anticipating noise, and I know that he was trying to do interviews anyway.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, I don't want him up in the front. I want him up in the front when they enter to catch people and businesses there versus being closer to the stage, which is another thing when you think about the logistics of supporting people's businesses, putting him close to main stage where it's super loud and rowdy is not a good move. So that's the other side of logistic.
Putting drip bars next to each other, and aesthetics and people that. You had to make sure the supplement stores weren't together.
Right.
That was a big piece that Melissa worked on, and we tried to assist there. But one thing I want to touch on before we wrap today is, so we talked about this, and we got a lot of flack from people, kind of joking around with us, but about the outfit changes and all that stuff.
Yeah.
One thing that I think is super important, if you're out there and you're looking to build something massive on this large scale, and you want to live and act as if, and I think people looking at us are why did you guys do 5 outfit changes? Why did you guys have the lights, the DJ, the entrance songs, all that? We put that show on, and I call it a show because I do look at it as a performance, a beautiful, artistic, just thing that came together. We put that on as if we were at WrestleMania, SummerSlam, the NBA Finals, and we kept thinking to ourselves, we're on the Taylor Swift World Tour, whatever the hell it is that you want to compare that to, because that's what we're comparing ourselves to. We're not comparing ourselves to the next wellness event or the next local business, this or that. We're comparing ourselves to the Tony Robbins Unleash the Power Within event. And that's something that I think people don't realize. It's you have to act as if in order to achieve. And you have to trick your mind, I think, to actually believing it so you can actually fill those shoes. What's your take on that? Number one, fire outfits.
Oh, I love them.
Number two, what's your thought on like the mindset process on that?
No, I think it's well explained, and I think it's super important. We have a little bit more clarity in it because we've both been to big events and we understand the magnitude of like actually how small we are right now, right? Like, yeah, we're saying, yeah, we're the biggest in Westchester, and yes, that's a fact.
That's another piece too.
History was made, but we're also humble enough to realize how small we actually are. We had the guy sitting right next to us who run a 3-day event with 25,000 people and go from 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. 3 days in a row with 30-plus breakouts, 2 main stages, like minute. And we're humble enough to know that. And I think that's important to share with people too. But also what you're saying is spot on, man. You have to act as if. And now what does that mean? People were laughing at us. They were still laughing at us. Oh, you guys changed again. Oh, look at these guys. Big time, big time. Yeah, because when we do step on MSG, when we do step in the Barclays or whatever, big arena we're in, we've already been here before.
Yep.
We had Mark Carter rolling with us through the crowd. Even he was like, yo, man, you need a bodyguard for this? I'm like, yo, we want one.
Yep.
We want one because we want to keep the flow. We want to keep the pace. There's nothing that we did for this event that won't be done on the bigger scale. And that's, I think, 2 specific things where people, they literally laugh. And again, it's funny until it's not.
That's the separating factor, though. And I think you and I both do a great job at that, is like we really like believe this stuff. Like we believe in our hearts, in our minds, that we are going to be the biggest and the largest in the world at what we do. So why would we not act as if now? And I think so many people that we see out here, it's not a knock on them. They just don't do this for whatever reason. It's just they're not acting as if. They're acting, that they're in Westchester County and this is my event in Westchester County. No, like I'm looking at the county center when we're there as the biggest freaking, like the Coliseum, like, you know what I mean? Like that's the way I look at that. And I know you do the same.
Absolutely. It's a must. I think it's a must. And embracing that from start to finish. We were there the day before, and at every walkthrough, we were walking through the rooms and getting a real lay of the land and really, really trying to feel it. But yeah, we now know what it feels like being in that arena. So then when we do step on the biggest stages, it doesn't even feel that big. And how many things in your own life are you downplaying when you should be? You might be a small business, but I've never heard a big corporation call themselves a small business. Ever. Right? Because they don't operate that way. They think big, right? And you need to think big, and you need to show that big presence and that thought process behind the scenes by actually living the thing. Tough question for you before we get out of here. Give me one thing that I can improve on myself in regards to specifically the Health is Wealth event, right?
It was funny. So we came out in the intro right away.
And I know where you're going.
And 30 seconds in, Dave, bam, right off script. We had this whole thing planned in the beginning, and I'm ready to start my piece. Well, I did start, but I'm ready to start my piece, and Dave, let me tell y'all something. I'm like, yo.
I caught that too. Oh,
but
man.
You nailed it. You nailed what you were going to do in that moment. So I think for you, and I'm going to say this for myself too, we got to do a better job at preparing.
Tell everybody when we prepared.
We prepared for Health is Wealth speaking points at 8:45 p.m. on Friday night before the event. And that might sound insane
Not
to
even
people.
in person.
Not even in person. I was laying on my floor. I had a foam roller under my neck, and I had the red light shining on my face in my upstairs room, just closing my eyes, and I have Dave on speakerphone. And I'm like, yep, so let's do this. Okay.
I was picking my clothes out.
Yeah. And we got the Notes app, and we have a shared Notes app. And again, I've said this on so many podcasts and all this stuff. Like, if you have access to my notes, I'm done.
But you do a different note for everything.
Everything.
Like, even a username and a password is a different note.
Yeah.
See, I at least have one note that I keep going back to with all my usernames and passwords.
Don't be giving everybody your secrets, bro.
Well, they just need to steal one document, I guess, versus 100 documents. Yeah.
So no, I would say for you specifically, You did a great look, dude. You did an amazing job at speaking. I think you
Did you think that? You thought that?
I thought you did an amazing job
Really?
at speaking. Yeah, I think you did a really good job at speaking. I think going off script in the beginning was one that we had to make an adjustment on. But I mean, we always make adjustments.
I don't know how I did. I got to be like, it's almost as if, and I don't know if anyone can relate to this, but when you're preparing for these big moments, especially right before like that, I almost don't do well with it. Like, I almost rather just go out there, even though that's scary too.
And rip it.
Because I am confident enough in my ability to hold a microphone and deliver a message. But also when you're relying on somebody else, like I messed you up because I'm over here on bullet point 5 and I didn't realize it until after I was already in the middle of saying it. But I'm like, all right, we could switch it up.
No, but as soon as you got off stage, you said it.
What do you mean?
As soon as we got off stage for the intro.
Oh, I knew right away.
You knew right away. You said something like in regards to that.
Yeah, I knew right away. But I'm saying I had to be more conscious of that because it's not just me there, right? Like if you had this whole prepared thing, which we did, and I jumped to bullet 5 versus where it should have been in, I brought bullet 5 to the forefront.
That probably comes with preparation though, but we do struggle with preparation because we come off robotic, I think, with how we're delivering the message.
If
and
you're
I think,
too prepared.
Yeah, and for us, I think we hear it all the time. Like our gold is how authentic and raw we are, and I never want to get away from that. Like I never want to get away from like the humor piece, and even like Mark said something that night, Saturday night, like you guys aren't just the MCs, whatever, but we actually are because like that's the personality that we bring to the table, and I fully disagreed with him on that, but. Yeah, I mean, and then for myself personally, I think I didn't hit as many of the points I wanted to touch on. Like I wanted to talk about look good, feel good, play good, which is such an important one for me. And that's something that next year I'll make sure that I hit on. So some of my learning and coaching points, I don't think I delivered on.
I would say the same thing for myself, just in regards to that right there. Like I had things that were planned that were so simple that I didn't touch on.
Yeah.
Not to mention, we didn't even touch on the framework of ACE.
Yeah, true.
Of challenge, learn, serve.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. I didn't even think of that.
You know what I'm saying? Like there were so many things that like we didn't tee up that people need to hear behind the scenes of our business and what we do. For next year. Okay, so now it's my turn giving it to you, right? I told you this real time. One, I think you
were spot on about this when I saw the video.
Your energy fire. You were nervous at the beginning and you told me that. And I feel it too. And I just want to be clear about this. You came out, bro, on fire. When I looked at the video, it was even better than I thought it was in person. You, I think, were the one that set the tone for the energy in the place. You really did. And you need to own that because I didn't even think it was like what I was thinking. I think of my talking points too much. I never got to observe. When I was looking at the video, I'm like, thank God for Sean, bro, because you were the one that set the tone with that energy. The improvement piece is the movement on the stage.
Yeah.
When you're holding a microphone, you want to move a little bit. But I felt like I was trying to make sure I was out of your way and out of your shots. And it was almost as if you were like, I need my bash, brother. Like we were just staying like close to each other. And I kept trying to move away from you. But as
Mike said it too. Mike's like, bro, I'm trying to follow you. Where the hell is this guy going?
As you're speaking, you can almost take away from the power of the message by moving too much. And I think what we should both do next year, honestly, we should step on the stage the day before and feel the width of the stage. Because when that was the first time we actually stepped like on the stage, was like the morning of.
Yeah.
Right? Like actually walking back and forth. We did no level of preparation in terms of like holding the microphone. But that was something that I remember feeling down at InvestFest. Like you certainly want to cover from stage to stage, but you don't want to be kind of moving too fast while you're speaking.
So when you said that to me, I think you said it right after the intro to me too. I didn't fully feel it or like believe it, and then Jackie played the video because she had our whole intro on video, and I was like, oh my God. I am running coast to coast.
Did you see me trying to move?
Yes. And then, like, it was alarming.
And then you
to
can't
me.
unsee it, right?
You can't unsee it. And that's something I'll never forget. And I guarantee you I will never do that again. And it was such a good point you brought up. But I wouldn't have known that. I wouldn't have, even if I saw the video afterwards and you didn't say it, that wouldn't have clicked in my head.
Bro, you're one of the best speakers that I've ever heard, right? So now if you're running across the stage, it almost, people might be looking at your size and stature versus listening to what you're speaking on.
But it's even like you talk about this all the time and like pausing and letting like that point sink in.
Yes.
And I think I do a really good job at that now. But if you're pausing and trying to let like a punchline sink in, but you're fucking walking across all the way, it's like you're not even really pausing, you know? And
I was actually happy when I re-looked at the video of the closing point when I was saying clarity is nothing without action.
yes.
In my head, I thought I jumbled it
Fire close
while
out.
it was live, but I stood on that one corner of the stage. You know, whereas typically I would have been, doing the same thing because you almost feel like you got to touch everybody, and that's what
Yes.
you're doing, right? It's a mix of the nerves, the excitement, and then wanting to like talk to everybody. But when you're looking back at the video, I was like, okay, I did so much better at the end than I did in the beginning, which is good because I think that's the natural flow of the event, and you get way more comfortable. But nah, man, you killed it. I was so, I was proud. I was proud to be, a co-founder of this thing with you. I'm proud to just be alongside of you, and I was happy for you, man. You took charge of the stage, and I'm telling you, you uplifted my energy in the beginning because when I was looking, I was like, damn, Dave, like you seem a little like too chill.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love your energy.
I think part of the intro is like that theme song, like music coming out and stuff. Like that was a really strategic one because it was like a build up.
Sean took the lead on basically all of our intro songs,
Yeah.
which was fire. And when I see that you're so passionate about it, that's why you even followed up like, yo, you got any feedback? I'm like, nah, bro. Like, I'm good because when you have one person on your team that's so passionate about it and wants the best for you too, I'm like, oh, it's gonna be a vibe.
Yeah, because it's. I mean, even like social media, for instance. Like I never really even touched like the event marketing lead up stuff. You handle all that with Mike. Really, you're a beast at that. So like I don't have to really do much there. You know. Same thing with the music. Like on the flip side, like I felt it was really important to have that momentous like build up.
The ET was elite, bro. That
Fire,
was
dude. And I
elite.
can't wait to figure out what next year's
Yeah,
is. You
that
know?
was
I'm
elite.
already thinking about it.
Yeah.
But it's much more than just a speaking event. It's much more than just a vendor event. Like this is really a show or performance, an artistic like movement in a day that's coming out in different forms. And health is wealth. Like it has so much room to grow. But damn, bro, I'm proud of what we did.
We killed it, bro.
Killed it, brother.
Listen, if you guys have not followed Sean, I don't know what you're doing. He's literally one of the best in the world at what we're doing in terms of leadership training and transformation. Co-founder of Action Cultivates Excellence. This is now his 4th or 5th company. And the guy's, how old are you, 34?
34, yeah.
34 years old, man. We have such beautiful, what a beautiful life we get to
What a
live.
life we get to live.
What a life
Sean
we get to
O'Connor
live.
always says that, like after these crazy ace dinners and events, whatever, he just comes up to me and he don't say anything. He just says, "What a life."
What a life, bro.
And it just every time it just covers it. That just covers it. That
What a
statement, what a life. Like we're so blessed. We're so fortunate, man.
Let everybody know your Instagram. And then also plug that Health is Wealth Expo Instagram page. that we
Yo,
got.
we out here in
I
these
can't believe we
streets.
snagged that.
We should have thought of that before.
I know. I did, but I thought it was
you-
too much. I did.
Too much in the, yeah.
I did.
There's the marketing
Yeah.
mind. See, I don't know. Yeah, man, you can find me at Sean.Degnan on Instagram, SeanDegnan.com, Salehouse Tarrytown, Action Cultivates Excellence, ACeSanctuary.com, all the things, you know.
And
we
follow Health is Wealth Expo on Instagram.
Yeah.
CV, throw that one in there for me, all right? Health is Wealth Expo, baby.
yeah, all things health is wealth will be on there delivered.
First and largest, man.
Man, Westchester's bringing us back, so what a,
Oh, that's right.
what a gift.
We didn't even tell you guys. So to close this all out, our main goal with this event was basically to have enough people in the building that the county wanted to support it. and the county came back and said that they want us back next year, baby. So mission has been accomplished. Congratulations to you, my brother.
My dog, likewise.
What a great episode. What a great recap. So, guys, we just want to say thank you, whether you listen to one episode or 269 here at the No Snooze podcast. The podcast is really just a call to action to wake up and attack everything that you do. We're top 10% podcast on Spotify for 2 years. Next year, we need to crack that top 5%. That's one of our goals. Shout out to you, Claudio, for running the show behind the scenes, man, because without it, I think I'd be here like, hey, guys, welcome back to the No Snooze podcast.
No, they don't call you the big AV.
No, absolutely not. Guys, and if you have not gotten a copy of my book, 30 Lessons to Lead, really encourage you to check that out. And until next time, baby, stop snoozing.
Get up and get after it.
Health is wealth, dog.
The pink looks good on you, Miami vibes. Let's do it.
Thank you guys for tuning in. That's another epi in the books. You can follow us on Instagram at No Snooze Podcast and leave us a 5-star review wherever you listen to us. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, No Snooze. Shop the latest merch at nosnoozeshop.com. Come on.